Hey, good morning, everybody. It's still morning time, late morning. Hope you guys are having a great, what day is it today? Mondays. The weather looks great out here in the Temecula, Marietta, Menifee Valley area. We've got it's nice and cool. Hope you guys are enjoying this day. I hope you guys are enjoying your work day as well. So, guys, today's topic is it's another client win. Those of you that have been following me know that Emily and I specialize in reversing or help people to reverse prediabetes, type 2 diabetes, fatty liver, that unwanted belly fat or hip fat or butt fat, whatever you want to call it. And as far as the diabetes part of it, we kind of fell into this a couple years ago. I didn't really look into doing this as a specialty, but it just happened because I've had people who have been on medication for years. And this actually started really back 11 years ago when I was first introduced to hydrogen-rich water, which is known by science to be the fastest and simplest way to reverse diabetes and many other medical diseases. But I wasn't really focusing on diabetics. I was mainly focusing on all diseases and educating people about their health. But in the last couple of years, it's funny how God works. He puts you in places where you need to be, I guess, and some of us struggle not to recognize it. But I was given a lot of people out there in the last few years who have been battling type 2 diabetes or prediabetes or obesity or fatty liver. Not just here in the United States, but now all over the world. I've got clients now that are in other countries. And so I've become really interested in this because, to be honest with you, the ones my clients that I have, they're focused. A lot of people really aren't focused. They say they want to lose that belly fat, or they say they want to reverse whatever medical issue that they have. But when they start the program, they end up making excuses, a lot of excuses. And they're not really looking into reversing whatever issues they have. But you know what? In the last few years, the diabetics that I've been working with, they're pretty focused. I mean, they had a goal. They were reaching for a goal to reverse their issue because they saw the side effects from it long term, especially on the medication. So that's why it's been so fun for me to work with these more serious clients of mine. So I've been really excited about it, and obviously I'm always looking for more clients to help, because we know now I have enough documentation to prove to any medical doctor or any health professional or clinical professional who still is skeptic that you can reverse type 2 diabetes or a fatty liver or prediabetes or obesity without medication. I've got plenty of documentation now to prove them that you can. And if they still deny it after seeing my documentation and the meter readings that we are getting on both sides, on being fat adapted or glucose, or their glucose levels and their ketone levels, then they shouldn't be doctors or medical professionals, because science has been telling us this for a long time, that you can reverse most all medical diseases without medication if you have the right tools. The body knows how to do it. The body has natural mechanisms to reverse many diseases out there, including preventing COVID-19. And now this country is seeing a spike in it. It's because people's immune system is so tanked out because they're still eating the Western-style processed foods, which is depressing the immune system. That's why so many people now are getting it. Their immune systems are tanked. But anyway, let's get back on the topic here. We have a client win here. I just got this, maybe 10 minutes ago, and that's why I'm on here. I want you guys that know somebody who's battling prediabetes or type 2 diabetes or a fatty liver or obesity, you might want to share this with them. But I think the skeptics, I want to point this more to those skeptic doctors out there who think that the only way to treat diabetes type 2 or prediabetes is with medication and will not change their ways when so many other doctors are. And science has been telling us this for decades. Even on their own scientific sites that they go to reference whatever information they're looking for, it says it also. Hundreds and hundreds of scientific documentation. But of course, the biggest documentation is blood tests. Blood tests don't lie, and that's why my documentation that I have with each one of my clients proves that they have improved their diabetes or actually reversed it. Okay, so this is one of my clients who's been with me for a while. He went through my 12-week diabetic program. He was very focused. He might have been a little skeptical at first, but after we got started, he got more and more encouraged because he saw the results. And then all of a sudden, he went crazy, and he was super, super focused on improving his lifestyle because he knew he was headed in the wrong direction. But today, about 10 minutes ago, I got this. Today is November 23rd, and this was a message I got from him, and I'm going to read it to you. And it's pretty exciting. It's really exciting when you see somebody. And you know, it's not me that, I mean, I was just a tool. You know, it's basically, we got to give thanks to God, of course, that the Holy Spirit pointed him in the right direction. But I was just a tool. All the work comes from him because he's the one that has to do it. I just give him the education and the science and the plan and the tools to do it. And so he's got to give himself a lot of credit also because even though it's easy to reverse type 2 diabetes or pre-diabetes, it still takes some work and some challenges. And so he did a fabulous job here. But anyway, here's his comment to me. I'm going to read it word for word. It's not me, it's him. So this is what he sent me. Update. In June, I was diagnosed as having out-of-control diabetes. I was prescribed insulin and metformin along with blood pressure medication. I just received the results of my latest lab work and have been declared officially non-diabetic. So I'm not the one that declared him a non-diabetic. His own physician and his blood test, well, like what I always say, guys, documentation always overrules conversation. Blood tests don't lie. So he has now been declared a diabetic. Now, you guys know that I'm always talking about being patient. Things don't happen overnight. And if you've been a diabetic or pre-diabetic or obese or fatty liver for years, your body's just not going to switch over within a few days or 2 weeks or a month or 2 months. It takes a body to readjust a long time. It only took him 5 months to get to at this point where he has now been declared officially a non-diabetic, and that's not very long. Actually, that's pretty quick. Now, why was it so quick for him? And for some people, it's slower. Like I said, guys, he was consistent. He was patient. And he was focused on he wanted to do it. You know, I just gave him the tools. And the meter, he had the ketone. He got educated on fat adaptation. He got educated on keto adapted. He learned what this all means, and he was very focused on his meals and knew that and focused on the higher good dietary fats, the moderate proteins, and kept his carbs way below 20 grams a day during the process of reversing this. He was focused, and he felt the difference when the body did get fat adapted, the body did not want those starchy carbs anymore. Matter of fact, he would, go off the wagon a little bit, and his body didn't like it, and he felt horrible. Okay? And so also through this whole, he did, he's now officially declared an official non-diabetic, but the byproduct of what he was doing was what? And what do I keep telling people? What's the byproduct of reversing or controlling your glucose levels and your ketone levels? The byproduct is always going to be losing fat. That's the byproduct. It's automatic. You don't even have to focus on losing fat. Even though you're overweight, a person who has a fatty liver obviously is overweight. A person who is on insulin or metformin or has type 2 diabetic, most of them are way overweight. But when you're reversing your diabetes, you don't have to focus on the fat. The inches, you don't have, because it's going to come off automatically, just like it said here. So what he did was he also gave us a update on his inches, and he lost a tremendous amount of fat. He lost a large amount of inches around his waist, and of course his clothes are actually much looser than they were. So he felt the results of the byproducts of lowering and controlling glucose. Over these last few years, doing so many of these type 2 diabetics and seeing so many different readings with different people, I've learned that the glucose meters or the glucose levels is more. I focus more on that more so than the ketones, because once you become ketone adapted, then your ketones aren't going to show up on your blood as high. It's the glucose levels. You stay within a certain range. I'll give you an example. Between 78 and 72 consistently every day, you're going to lose inches, body fat. And your ketones are automatically going to be high, which means you're fat burning. You're in fat burning mode. And I'm not talking about burning fat from the food you eat. I'm talking about your own body fat. Okay, guys? So he also gave us an update on what the blood test showed as his A1C. Most diabetics go by the A1C. Most doctors go by the A1C. Well, his A1C is down to 5.6. That's why they told him. That's why they declared him officially a non-diabetic. Okay, so he's down to 5.6. Well, let's see where he started at. So I'm going to bring that up on my screen here. I'm in his file. Like I say, I document everything. I even document conversations on all my clients. So that's why I have my clients text me the pictures of their glucose meter readings, text me the pictures of their ketone readings, and then the conversation we have, I document it to see where we're at. I have to do that in order to get in order to find out what's going on. But let's see what his A1C was when we first started. I'm coming to the top here. I think he was like at 290. Let's see here. Well, I'm almost there. Okay, here we go. Okay. His weight was somewhere around 250, but his A1C, guys, when we first started was at 14. Pretty incredible, isn't it? Only 5 months, and now he's declared officially as a non-diabetic, and his A1C was at, I think, 5.6. Is that what I said, you guys? So, guys, don't let anybody out there, if you have somebody that you know that's a type 2 diabetic or pre-diabetic or have a fatty liver or actually is obese, you might want to share this video with them. Give them a chance to make the decision themselves that they would rather go the natural way, which is proven by science to work. There's no proof that medication will ever reverse these diseases. There's no proof of it. And why is that? Because it doesn't. Medication will not do it. Okay, you have to let your own body's mechanism, and you have to understand and educate yourself on how to reverse it. I've said this over and over and over. The root cause of most all, if not all, diseases is inflammation. Okay, that's the root cause of every disease out there. So you have to find out the root cause of your disease and work on that. And when it comes to a diabetic, what is that? It's glucose, high glucose levels. So let's reverse it. But let's not do it with medication that has multiple scientific side effects, which is one of the biggest ones is kidney failure. I know a lot of people who had diabetes and they just wanted to listen to their doctor. They felt the doctor knows everything. You know, why would he give me medication knowing that it wasn't going to work? You know what? That's a really good question. You know, you may want, if you're watching this and you've been a type 2 diabetic for a long time and you're on medication for a long time and they keep increasing it because it's not working, and if you're on medication and your blood glucose level is still at 154 or 144, you've got to ask yourself, okay, I'm on the medication, but why isn't my glucose level down to what Bill's saying, what Coach Bill's saying, 74, 78, 80? Because the medication isn't going to work. You got to use your own body's natural mechanism to reverse it and get it down there. And you have to have the right tools. You got to have the right meal plan, and you have to eat your meals at certain times, and your body will adjust to it. Okay, guys. So, guys, I'm going to post this YouTube video on YouTube. I'm going to put this information on what he commented on. So it'll be in the YouTube. You can go to my YouTube channel, type in Bill Mabry, subscribe to it, hit the description section, and read this last bit of this last client win comment that he made. You can also go to my Weight Loss Made Easy Solution Facebook group page. Join the group. A lot of good information. I have a lot of my fat burning recipes on there. This YouTube video will be there also. Okay, guys? So, guys, like I said, doctors, there's a lot of skeptic doctors out there. You have to ask the question, okay, with all this documentation, with all this science, and all these people that are actually reversing diabetes, type 2, prediabetes, and so forth, fatty liver and obesity, without medication, why aren't you telling me this, doc? Why do you keep prescribing higher and higher amounts of metformin and insulin when it's not dropping my my blood glucose levels to what Coach Bill was saying? Why isn't it working? Let him explain it to you. And if you're watching, if you rewatch this video, then you can go back to him and say, well, wait a minute, your own science research site that you refer to a lot of times is saying that what you're doing to me is causing side effects and it's not going to ever work. But yet your same science site is saying by doing it naturally, by changing the type of food you're eating, changing the time you're eating it, and then science is also saying you by changing the type of water you're drinking, which makes it a much simpler and easier way of lowering blood glucose levels. All the science is out there. So why aren't you telling me this, doc? Well, guys, you know the answer to that. I don't have to say that, right? Okay, guys, you guys have a great day, and hope you saw some value in this. Like I said, share this video with somebody you know that may be battling prediabetes, type 2 diabetes, fatty liver, or obesity. You guys have a great day, and I hope you enjoyed it. Bye.